Hi, my name is Evan Holloway, and I'm a postdoctoral fellow at UCSF in the Division of Infant, Child, and Adolescent Psychiatry at the Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital. Today, I'm going to discuss the important topic of parental monitoring and how to handle awkward conversations to keep your kids safe from risky situations, including transmitting COVID-19, drug and alcohol use, and unsafe sex, among others. Effective monitoring has also been shown to positively impact your child's self-control and willingness to share information with you. I'm going to help you learn how to monitor your children effectively by remembering to pipe up using 4 simple steps. Those steps are to prepare, initiate, plan, and then execute. The first step is to prepare, which includes things that you can start doing right now and before your kids want to make plans. This includes modeling and encouraging open communication with your children. Remind them that they won't be punished for telling you something is going on, especially if it's a situation that makes them feel unsafe. Provide positive reinforcement for any efforts to communicate by your child. It's always helpful to get to know their routine so that you know who their friends are, what their interests are, and what kind of plans they typically make. One effective way to keep track of their activities and to get to know their routine is to set up a shared calendar. Set an expectation that they add any plans to the shared calendar, with details like time, location, activity, and who else will be involved. The next step is to initiate. It's important to initiate conversations with your children early and often, and also with other caregivers when they make social plans in or outside of your home. During the conversations with your children, it's important to communicate your expectations, and that over everything, you want them to be safe. Discuss various types of risky situations and things that can increase the level of risk, as well as how to keep themselves safe. Make it clear that you want them to communicate with you as soon as possible if they don't feel safe, or if plans change. And when you initiate the conversations with other caregivers, remember that if they're not interested in talking to you, maybe that's not the safest environment for your children. When you talk with other caregivers, remember to exchange contact information, as well as to discuss your parenting values, practices, and expectations. Also, remember that many people are struggling right now, and they don't always ask for help or check in with other caregivers. So these conversations can represent an opportunity to see if and how you can help or support each other. Once you hear about any social plans, the next step is to plan for them. In order to set expectations for your child, to inform you of their plans and that you trust them, it's a good idea to speak with your child first about their plan. Then, it's a good idea to confirm those details with the caregivers of other children and/or the supervising adult. Make sure that you have contact information for at least one other person. Ideally, this would include the supervising adult as well as a friend so that you have backups in case you can't reach your child. It's also a good idea to create a safety plan to help your child understand how to recognize dangerous situations and to keep themselves safe. Work together to identify at least one person who you and your child trust that can keep them safe. Set the expectation that they will call you as soon as possible and/or 911, depending on the severity of the situation. It's also important to come up with a plan for how they plan to get home. Here are some key pieces of information that are important for any social plans. The schedule. When does it start? When does it end? The location. Where will you be? Are you planning to hang out indoors or outdoors? The people. Who will be there? Do we know these people? How many people will be there? How old are these people? The activity. What do you plan on doing? And transportation. How do you plan on getting there and back? It's also important to ask a few questions that relate to the risk of transmitting COVID-19. Has anyone come into contact with a COVID-19 positive person? Has everyone been tested recently? It's important to stay familiar with the latest guidelines regarding social distancing where you live, as those can change very quickly. It's also a good idea to be familiar with the CDC's guidelines regarding the risk of infection. If city ordinances allow for making plans with others outside of your household, remember that it's safest to not meet in person. If you do decide to accept some risk and allow in-person plans, please keep these guidelines in mind. The last step is to execute. The day of, make sure that you have your phone charged and by your side, that your child has a mask, that they agree to wear it, and that they have hand sanitizer, their phone charged, and a charger if they'll be gone for a long time. Finally, their safety plan memorized or saved in their phone. Remember that plans change. When it comes to your child's safety, be flexible when you can, but consistent. Social interaction is essential to healthy childhood development, so try to find ways to support your child's interaction with friends where possible while keeping them safe. And remember to pipe up.